to the Billionaire Mindset Podcast. I got with me today is Dom. He was an apprentice of mine. He's been doing it now for 4 years.
What up, what up?
Let me give you a little accolades on him. He's a letter artist. Loves a letter. Like, that's his thing.
Obsessed.
Definitely obsessed with it. He's done it all over the shop. He's won awards with it. When he first came here, I'll be honest with you, I've told you that before, like, I wasn't into his lettering, but if you watch the podcast that's coming out, you haven't probably seen it yet, I talk about this heavily. I said, before you had come, your mom and Chris were trying for like a year or so to get you to come, and I was like, man, I'm not really taking an apprentice, because you see I'm like personal with my apprentices. I don't like to get like an apprentice and then it don't.
Yeah, you don't want to just take on anybody.
Yeah,
you want to believe and trust that this person is going to grow to where you can help them and stuff.
And then Chris kept hitting me up, and then finally I looked at your stuff. I started seeing, and I noticed growth. I kept seeing like everything you were doing. You were just getting better and better. Your lines were getting sharper, your consistency, and you were drawing every day. I was like, all right. And to this day, 4 years in, the man, if you come to the shop, you ain't gonna see him. He gonna be back in his room. You might see his head pop up every once in a while, but he's back there drawing. He's still dedicated.
Back there in the rabbit hole and doodling.
Yeah. Ever since the beginning, you've done that and you haven't stopped. That's why you're gonna be great. That's why you're gonna become who you're gonna become, because of the fact that 3 years in, you won an award because of dedication. You knew what you needed to do to change it, to win it. You knew what.
Yeah, that was a big point for me. Like, that was super exciting. That's one thing I told myself. Once I started tattooing, and I get pretty comfortable, my next goal was to win an award. For me.
Yeah.
Because it was an accomplishment and achievement for me, knowing that I'm doing something right.
And I'll be honest with you, the first show we did years ago, you should have got it in your second year in. 2 years ago when we went.
At the Baltimore
one. Yep.
Yeah.
We did the Baltimore one. There's no way you should have lost that one. No way. Your lettering on his leg and how clean that was, and just the style. I think what helped, what was it, a little bit of legibility they said or something? Because you were still
legibility. I was still kind of learning the ins and outs of what they were kind of looking for as far as, to be on the board of tattoos and everything like that.
So what they
it was a learning experience, but I do kind of feel like I should at least place maybe third
on that one. 100%.
It was a heel tattoo. It was no touch-ups. It was done in 2 sessions. It was one of the biggest pieces I've ever done. Still one of the biggest pieces I've ever done.
Yeah, because the guy's what, 6'4", 6'3"?
Yeah, he was pretty tall, and it went right from like the bottom of his ass cheek, down to his ankle.
Yeah, it was huge, and it was dope, and I thought it was sick as shit. So to lose to like a little arm piece, like, it's kind of disrespectful almost, but it is what it is. You gotta learn, like, that's navigating through this industry. You gotta learn the industry. You gotta figure out who likes what, when, where, how, put it together and make it win. That's how you win, right? And I do it too, but I do it on a color level, but I'm doing it on big scale level. I don't do it on little scale level. And now he's doing it on the big scale level. And when you get into the bigger stuff, it gets harder, because, like, to me, to map out a whole back piece is not easy, especially if you're doing it in a color, and doing a whole leg sleeve in lettering, that's not easy to do, and make it legible and make it flow with the whole part of a body, because, you might have a big quad or a big leg calf, and then your quads could be small, or it could be the opposite, So when you hand draw it on there and you custom draw a lettering and you put it on somebody's leg like that was dope. It flew with the body part.
Yeah, the crazy thing was I actually stenciled that piece.
Yeah,
and I was
but you didn't stencil it first. You drew it on an iPad to fit his leg, though, didn't you?
I don't think I had an iPad back then.
No?
I drew it on paper.
Okay.
I took a picture of his leg, and then I actually used my leg and traced it on paper, and taped like 3 pieces of paper together, and then drew it out. And I was like, man, I really hope his leg is pretty close to mine, and it pretty much was. It kind of worked out. Some things I had to kind of draw on once I got the stencil on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty crazy, because now I would draw that on now, but back then I wasn't too comfortable, drawing it on all the time.
Not yet.
I wasn't there all the
way. Your mindset was still like, oh, if I wipe it away, like, you didn't need it.
Yeah, I was still always scared. That was probably one of the biggest things, was just wiping it away, and being like, oh fuck, I'm screwed. You know what I mean? Because half of this is gone. it's like shit. Now I gotta draw it on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it just comes with confidence. And confidence, that's, you know, you get that the more you draw on, and once you have that confidence down, it becomes so much easier. It's just, you know, second nature, just drawing it on. And I think it works out a lot better when you know you draw it on the skin.
Yeah. It's now that's how you feel, and that's where like it'll help for some of these up and comers that are coming into the industry that want to do lettering or line work. That the consistency, it's a consistency thing. Like if you stay consistent to something, and I can attest for it. And he was gone for a year, but he never stopped. You always saw, and I saw like you weren't that busy because you wasn't posting a lot of pictures at the moment.
Yeah,
right?
I wasn't tattooing as much as I was.
But you were drawing a lot.
Yeah, so it gave me a lot more time to draw and study. So.
And you were doing portrait studies too. I saw a lot of that.
That's when I started teaching myself to draw portraits and everything.
And that's what it takes though. That's why like you'll keep going and you'll keep growing because like somebody can only teach you so much before you got to take it in and realize, okay, now it's time for you to just take the next gear and go, right? That's why I say I'm good at what I do for teaching people if they actually can stick with me and go with me because, and I didn't even get to help you as much as I would have because you kind of attached to somebody else as we started going into the apprenticeship. But what I realized with you is like, you almost had to learn the rest of it on your own, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of things that I kind of worked out on myself, just trial and error, and a lot of stuff I learned to write it down too. Like if I was trying a gray wash set or drop system, I'd write it down, or if I was using just regular water as opposed to distilled water. I mean, I tried everything. I wrote it down and everything, and now I'm comfortable with, you know, how I do things. Distilled water, yeah. For a while, I liked using regular water, and then I just, you know, started using distilled water, and then I was just like, yeah, I like the distilled water.
Man, there's been so many things.
It just breaks it down so much easier.
There was witch hazel. You can use witch hazel. Like, there's so many different ways of using now. Like
that I've never used the witch hazel.
Black and gray, yeah. A lot of people, there's just breakdowns that people used over the years that work, right? To me, I feel like the most consistent is just distilled. It just has been, because you don't know what's in the water nowadays, man. Iron and all that other stuff that just messes with the mixture of the inks. So I feel like where people will learn about from you, from this, to why I wanted to bring you on here, one was to show people what growth looks like how it's only been 4 years, you've already won an award, your lettering is dope, but you're not done learning. You're still trying to, you're trying to get to that ultimate level of just like, once the OGs in the lettering game start tipping their hats to you, you know what I mean? And that's coming. That's going to come because there's no way it can't. From the dedication that you put in to the point where you'll be like Norm and them, where like Norm was, and like a lot of these other artists that are hand drawing stuff, like they can paint something or draw something, lettering like nothing. BJ Betts, I watched him the other day write something, and it's just like, damn, he just does it so easy. Like,
yeah, that dude's an OG, man. He's a big name in the industry, well respected.
I'm hoping to get him on the podcast. I've wrote him. I've had
that's cool.
Assistant write him, and hopefully, you know, he reaches back out because I'd love to get him on. Because the thing is BJ Betts has been in our state for
I was gonna say
I remember when he was working with George from G Spot and Terry Bannon and Chris Delott. I remember when all of them worked together. Like, dude, they were always inspirational to me. So I do want to get them on there. You know, I get all
that'd be dope.
Reach out to all them because there's so much talent in Delaware that people don't even know it. Like, there's you're slipping on it. Like, but there's so much talent in every state you go. Like, you can go to a little state in Illinois, Indiana, like somewhere small, and you'll find somebody, and you'll be like, damn, there is a gift, dude. That dude's good. Like Rhode Island, like little places you never thought of, like Delaware. We're not a big state, but I feel like it's almost like you slipping on what's here. Like, there's so much talent in everything, and that's not just in art. That's in everything, man. There's video people, there's art, there's painting, there's drawings, there's tattoos, there's business minds.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that like I follow that are undiscovered, you know, like lettering artists, ones that aren't really big. You know, they haven't pushed or just haven't got that opportunity to really be known, but they're just as dope as the ones that are super known.
Let me explain it to you in my way. I've been around in this industry before social media, before Instagram, Facebook, and all that, right?
Yeah.
So how we used to look at marketing and how we used to look for artists was different than the way we are now. So
word of mouth back then.
Yeah, and we don't look at we look at the social media, but I don't look at the followers. Where people will be looking, oh, you only got 3,000 followers. I got 300,000 3,000 followers, but if I say what I did last year in sales and what I did, fuck it, I'll tell you 500,000. Okay. Put my number up to my fucking followers. You think I care about how many followers I have? No. I'm chasing money, not followers. I'm chasing the growth of business. Like, that money is making me more money. That growth is making me more knowledgeable about this. Like, now I learn this. Now I learn taxes. Now I'm learning where to put this money to make this money grow, right? Where I've never stopped. And it's not just from the tattoo industry, because I didn't make that just tattooing, obviously. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real. You don't make...
Yeah,
like, you make great money.
You have going on and stuff. Yeah.
It all adds up, though. But if it's because of this industry, is why I got there. Now the supply store I have, that's just going to make me... That'll put me over where I want to be, right?
Yeah, if you guys haven't checked that out already, man, definitely do. It was the AA Tattoo Supply. Yeah. Love the machine, too.
I haven't even... You know what's funny is I haven't even talked about my supply store or nothing. This is the first time. Because really, to me, like, I know this podcast stuff is more just for, like, people to understand the industry with us, like, to see, like, it's really just love, respect, and, like, growth. It's not about, because I watch all these shows, like, I don't watch them, but I watched a couple just to see if I liked them, and they're all negative, man.
A lot of just negative drama, you know.
What tattoo show do you watch, really, that doesn't have a whole bunch of drama filled into it?
Yeah, like the one show, was it Black King Crew?
Yeah, God.
I don't see any tattooing going on there.
No, and it's
I
like...
would love to. You know,
but then if you look at the story of that, they're trying to bring respect and, like, build up the community back and get it back into, like, a respected, like, view, right? But then take the negativity out of it and show us the positive side of this, so that way we can really feel... I'd rather spend 20... Like, if it's an hour long, I want to watch it 45, 50 minutes of the positivity and give me the negative at the end of it. Because what it's doing is it's teaching our people out here, the young up-and-coming, the people that want to get tattooed, that might... an older person that might have had a sibling pass that they really want to get the name on them, that are scared to walk in somewhere because of what they think a tattoo shop is like, until they walk in one that's actually ran and established and is a respected tattoo shop, and you walk in it and you're like, oh wow, this isn't what I expected. You know, it's actually nice in here, and people make me feel at home. I feel comfortable. I don't feel like I would if I watched this show. That's the difference. That's what I'm trying to, like, show to people, is like, it's not what you think it is. It's not. But we'll show you the machine, because
this machine, man, is really fucking awesome. It's really amazing. I mean, it blew my mind at how well it lines.
Yeah. So this is it. Let me move that. So this machine, and this is just a prototype. So this is something that I got, and now it's on the market, so more people have it. But I didn't buy it for this machine. I bought it to see if I liked the power supply part of it, the motor part of it. The aesthetics of it are cool. I love how it has, 5 different interchangeable grips. But what I'm going to do is, what we're doing is, and we already have one made and the name and everything done, so it's coming. But this was just a prototype to see what we didn't like and what we liked. And what I can tell you is this machine right here, if you love coils, and you're a coil person, and you love line work, that's that machine, I'm telling you. And they're for sale.
Yeah, I love lining with coils, and I mean, even shading. I like shading with coils and stuff. And then recently I switched over to a rotary about a year ago. I mean, I dabbled with them here and there. I just never really liked the one that I had or whatever. But then I found one I did like, the Cheyenne Thunder. I've been using that for about a year, and still using my coils for lining and stuff like that. But when he gave me this machine to try, I haven't touched anything else. My coils, haven't touched them. Even my other rotaries, I haven't touched. This machine, in my opinion, is the last machine you'll ever need to buy. It's anything you've ever wanted in a machine. Wireless, power supply. It's got a long stroke on it, packs it in there really well. It's just an awesome, well-rounded machine, and it's super light. And it's just, it was a good move, man. I mean, you found a good builder, and the machine came out awesome.
Well, I'm still trying. Like, and that's the thing, is that's only like one source. We've been working with, I don't know, and still we're not even done working with. Because I've got a company in the United States right here, actually in Wilmington, Delaware, that I'm working with for machine work and all that. So, like, because I want it to be built for comfort for us. Some people like big grips, some people like little. I like the smaller grips, some people like the bigger grips. Some people like the soft, some like the bigger, So I want I want to keep those, but I want to make them where I can get the right size grip for the right size person. And then I want to make sure that you can always get supplies for it, because the one thing that I hate the most, this is what I hate the most. And I just went through this, you know that.
Yeah.
What if you're the person that only has 2 coils? Like, I only got 2 machines that I use faithfully, right? And that was at one time, that was before we got these ones, I was using the Cheyenne Hawk, and I was using the what other one we had?
FK Irons.
FK Irons, yep, the Zion, right? So both of them fuckers broke at the same time. Remember, I had.
Yeah.
So like, I'm sitting here, and actually, I'm still waiting on one. I got one back. So I'm sitting here, you know, and if you use, that's all you use. Now I have coils, right? But I haven't used a coil in years because I have been using these ones. And this ain't the first time neither one of them broke on me. But they don't sell you the parts to fix them. Then you got to send it to Germany. And when I sent Vel and mines last time to Germany, they got stuck in customs for a month, or like 2.5 months.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And we're sitting here. I had to buy another machine just to use one. I had to go buy another one just because I was like, shit, I got to have it. And I'm only going to use the best of the best, like throwing that I felt that are the best. So I'm just sitting here like, man, and this time it really, I wrote them and was like, listen, man, I literally given you my machine over a month ago, and now you're telling me, and I asked them for parts. I said, can you just sell me the parts? And they said, no, we can't because it voids your warranty. What fucking warranty? Like, I literally, you're making me pay. I just paid you once something, and you're telling me it's because I need a warranty. No. So what I'm doing is I'm building it to where it's built by me and somebody close to me, like FK Irons is doing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell you the springs, and I'm going to send you the kit. Like, it's going to come with all that. That's the difference of what I'm trying to do, is make it like a coil. A coil machine, you can buy every part known to man for your machine. And you know what's good, what's not. You know what, like the Icon, you know, they do sell good springs. So like
Icon springs are very good, yeah.
So you know where you're going to go with what you're going to buy. Like, you know the wraps you want, you know all that stuff. So like, it's the same thing with these. Why are you not teaching us how to fix these the right way? Instead, you're making people use springs out of big lighters and springs out of this, that, and the third that are not the original manufactured piece for that machine, when you should be just selling that piece. Because you'd rather make $100-some off of a $5 part.
Yeah, that's another good thing. The price point on this machine is very, very reasonable. You know, unlike the other machines.
It's triple the cost. And I'm selling you with the same warranty, but I'm gonna give you the parts to when you need to fix it here.
Yeah, and I guarantee you that machine is gonna work a lot better than those other ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Way better.
I can attest to that because that's all I use right now, and that's all my apprentice uses. Actually, everybody in the shop uses it. That's all they use. And I gave everybody one just to try it out, just to see if they liked it. Because what we've been doing for the last couple of years is trial studies on stuff to figure out what really, really works, instead of buying it or building it and just putting it out there for sale. Like, that's why Cheyenne got good. That's why they were good. That's why FK Irons is good for certain things, because that's what they were doing. Like, they've been studying and testing everything for so long, but now FK Irons got to the point where he can do it, manufacturing it himself, right? Where he has a warehouse for like the machinists and all. I don't, but the good part is my cousin's been doing it for 28 years, and he's worked at a place, and they're willing to give me a space there to use.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So I pay them still. We have our thing worked out, whatever. But so now we'll be able to build our own houses, and we'll be able to patent our own stuff and have our own thing. But it'll be real. It's gonna be good, and it's gonna be for this industry, not for like just not some bullshit off the, you know. Because trust me, eBay sells some good stuff, but so does Amazon. But not 75% of it, you don't even know if it's real or not.
Yeah, you gotta really do your research and just.
Especially like inks. Let me give y'all a little example. Like Fusion Ink and Eternal Ink, they never will sell them on Amazon. You can't. You're not allowed. So that stuff's not real. You're not allowed. You're just not allowed. Like, as a distributor, you're not allowed to sell it on there, and Amazon's not going to put it out there like that. So, standards, I think. And once we get done with these and we test them and we see we like them, we'll just get rid of them and get to the new ones. Because I don't want to sell what somebody else can get. I want it to be mine. I want it to be exclusive, and then I want to be able to give it to the industry and let the industry use it and sell it in the way they want it. I'll distribute it to them. So, I have a little master plan for that.
Yeah, I know you'll get some good feedback on it, because like I said, the machine is amazing.
Well, I just gave 4 away.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, to Josh, Dan Price, and
oh really? Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Easy Tattoos, Mark.
Yeah, we'll definitely like them.
And then they got that line guy. I don't remember Jesse. So I gave Jesse one too. Try it out. Let me see what you got. And
yeah, I think line's like a micron on paper, man. It's effortless. You know,
it blew my mind. It literally blew my mind. I was just like, holy crap.
Did.
Because we've been using coils and rotaries, and I was die hard. And let me explain this to you. The reason why he's die hard coil and I was die hard. I didn't start using rotaries until a couple years ago, but when I started using them, I still was using a coil towel line, and then I was using a rotary to shade, because I got my old trusty. Like, you just can't go like a workhorse. Like, man, I don't know. I just have certain machines I like, and I just couldn't get past the fact I couldn't put a line in as nice with a rotary. I just could not do it. And then I ran that freaking line with that thing, and it was over.
Yeah, I found it. This is it.
You got some questions? I see you over there writing.
Yes, I got one. Just questions for you, Dom. Like, where did art and tattooing, where did that start for you? Like, before Artistic Edition?
Art? I've always been in the drawing. I've always liked drawing. You know, as like a hobby, just time killer, or just kind of just get in my own head and just be in my own world. You know, when I'm drawing, I always enjoyed doing it. And then once I started getting tattooed and stuff like that, and started drawing a little bit more, and then there was a couple years where I didn't even draw at all. You know, I was working other jobs, and then I started picking up drawing again and getting tattooed more. And the more I started getting tattooed, just asking questions and just getting more into it. And even before I started tattooing, I went to a couple of tattoo conventions. I used to watch documentaries and stuff like that, and I always loved learning about it, and the history about it. I always thought it was, interesting, and I knew one day that it might be, an opportunity, as long as I kept doing it. But I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I was working other jobs, and the last one I had, I wasn't really too happy with doing it, and I was watching my other friends and stuff like that, leaving and going on and doing stuff they wanted to, and I was like, man, just seeing their posts on Instagram and seeing what they were doing, and I'm like, man, I really kind of want to do something that I really love doing instead of just, going to a 9-to-5 job, which was nothing wrong with that, but for me, I wanted something more.
That's how you change your mindset.
So change my mindset.
It's crazy.
I was like, man, if I find an apprenticeship, I want to be good at drawing to the point where all I have to do is just learn to tattoo. So I just started drawing more and more, and just kept at it for a while.
And see, that's the part of social media I think that helps, that people should use, is the fact that inspire. Like, man, people get on Instagram, Facebooks, and they want to be negative, but you don't realize who's looking at you. Some kid, he was a kid at one point looking at people like, oh, I want to be here, I want to be there. Oh, I could be there. They're doing it, just like his friends. He got into tattooing because they inspired him to do something out of his comfort zone, but he had to do it because when he came here, he was working a full-time job, and he had to pretty much quit it.
Yeah, when I first started, I was working a full-time job, and I was only apprenticing 1 day a week, for 5 months. And then I quit my job, and I started tattooing full-time New Year's Day 2016.
Wow. Yep, 6 months later, right? Something like that. It wasn't even 6 months, was it?
After I did my first tattoo?
Yeah, it was
I did my first tattoo in November, so it was 2 months. I did a couple of tattoos, and then...
Because he put all his time and energy onto growing as an apprentice and knowing what has to be done, to the point where I knew, okay, now it's time for you to go. And when he went over, he didn't go to charging people. We did tattoos for $10 for
Yeah, I was just tattooing for tips.
Just for tips, so that way he can get some gas money to come back and forth. We wouldn't even charge tips, but he was driving a 45-minute ride in a freaking big ass 3/4 ton Dodge Ram. He needed some tips.
Yeah, I still
gas.
have. Yeah,
and he still got it. Yeah. So he had to get gas. So that's what that was about. It was like, all right, help him get down here.
Yeah.
So that's what happened for a while, and then he did that for a while, and then once he started transitioning over, it turned over to full pay. So that's people trusting in us, and not every tattoo came out perfect. Not every tattoo came out great, but he grew, and they knew that. They knew before anything, listen, you're going to get this tattoo, but we're telling you right now, it might need a touch-up, and if it does, it is what it is. We'll take care of it, but wait till he gets to the stage of that level, right? And some people might look at that the wrong way of doing it. But what I'm telling you right now is here's an example. Everybody wants to say you got ADD or whatever, right? That's like a thing. Like a lot of artists will have some kind of like ADD, depression, something, right? But when we focus in on something else, like when we get to focus something on the one thing, motherfucker, we become good at it. That's just how it works. Like, and that's what happened. He was focusing. Okay, now I see what I'm not doing right. Because on the fake skin, you can only do so much. Because that fake skin does not tattoo like regular tattooing.
No,
it's so much easier. That shit's hard. That's why when Gracie does it on there and it looks that good, I'm like, fuck, you don't even know when you get on skin, it's gonna go in so much easier.
Yeah.
You fight to put that shit
thing that's tight. There's no pores.
Yeah.
It's hard to kind of get the stencil in and kind of have it stick, and then it doesn't move. It stays still. It's not like a person where it moves around, it breathes, it talks, it coughs, stuff like that.
So once you start tattooing on the skin and like you kind of got the concept of how to do this and all, and then you start rolling, it's like okay. And at first it was a couple of his friends and stuff, and no matter what, nothing was bad. It was just like okay, some of the lines would be missing because he didn't have the depth right, or he overworked some skin because he pushed a little bit more than he should have. It's stuff that you're going to have to learn hands-on because that's not going to tell you that. I don't give a shit. I'm old school. Like the pig skin, it still doesn't have the pores. It still doesn't have the redness of the skin because there's no blood going through there, right? You have to see all that. I'm not saying that they don't have to do some months of trials and studies on some fake skin and do that in the third.
No, that stuff does help. It helps a lot.
It makes it easier because when you hit the skin, you're like, oh shit.
It gets you more comfortable too.
When you run that line, you're like, damn, that line went in easy. When you run a line on that thing, you're like,
it's like, where is it? Why isn't it going in? What am I doing wrong? Is it the needle, the machine? Is it me? Is it for some skin?
Yeah, there's a million and one questions.
So Larry, you interviewed Mel last week, and it was interesting. I'm starting to see like a similarity where she loved art just like you, but for some reason she kind of veered off that path and went a different path because people were telling her that tattooing wasn't a real profession. Did you feel like that? Did you feel like you loved tattooing but you didn't feel like it was a real profession, or like
no? I mean, I always been exposed to it when I was younger. Like a lot of my dad's friends had tattoos.
Yeah.
One of them, his name was Jamie. He had a lot of tattoos by Terry Manning. That was his brother-in-law. So that was like the first time.
That's a shout out because that dude's beast too.
Yeah, that was like the first time me really seeing a heavily tattooed person. I didn't really know anything about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I was younger, when I first seen my tattoo, it was on my grandfather. And I thought he was born with it. I didn't know. I was like, how did it get there? I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And they used to kind of hide it from me because they thought, back then I was younger, they thought I'd be kind of scared of it. But I used to stare at it for hours and I used to be so interested in how it got there.
Yeah.
So as I got older, I kind of always knew that it was, something that people did for a living.
Yeah.
But my head wasn't really there just because I was a lot younger. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I always liked drawing.
Yeah.
In this industry, and another thing to that question is, this industry is not easy to get into. It's not. In anything you do, I don't care what it is in this industry. To get in this industry, somebody got to tip the hat because you're not just walking in the doors of the tattoo industry. Unless somehow or another you taught yourself from the door how to tattoo, how to do the right stuff, where to get the right equipment, what inks to use, how to do all that, and then open up a tattoo shop, that'd be the only other way. And if you do that, God bless you, because that's a lot of years of learning. Because there's still a lot you don't know that you're going to learn. That, I mean, you know most of it now, but there's still a lot of the business side that you don't know.
Oh yeah, tattooing is just half the battle. You still have the business, the marketing, how to deal with clients, how to set up appointments.
Mm-hmm. And that's the stuff that
promote yourself.
That's what a shop should do for you too. Like the shop does 75% of the marketing and the advertising. It should always be that way. If they're not doing that for you, then they're not trying to grow. Because how the hell can you grow if nobody's knowing about it? A tattoo artist doesn't have time to tattoo, draw, catch up on draws. Not a busy tattoo artist. You can't tattoo all day, go home, spend time with your family, advertise, draw, and still have a happy wife, happy life. It gets you away from, like, if you're home stressing or you got something going on in your life, when you come here, it's different. It's like, all right, we're home. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And we make money doing it.
Yeah.
Shit. You can't ask for nothing better. So it is an awesome industry. And that's why I want to teach the business side of it, because I want it to last. Because what's stopping your kid or my kid from doing this, right? But doing it in a way where payments are salary. I salary myself. Just like I tell you guys, you should salary yourself and pay yourself a W-2, right? Yeah. Reason being, it's so we can retire. 1099ing is so much more work. You can't retire off of that like you can off of a W-2 with a little pension or 401k or IRA or invested into something else, right? That's what I want to help people with, is just learn that stuff. That's what these are for, the books that I'm writing that we're doing. We're doing these ebooks for teaching business from beginning to end.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
From where I'm at now, and I'm on a growth period. Right now, I'm maxed out in my knowledge of business where I'm at, because now I'm dibbling and dabbling in more money than I've know how to play with. Mm-hmm. So how to make it work and where to put it and do this, that, and the third with it, right? Mm-hmm. But I also don't want to touch it. Yeah. I want to make sure it goes. All I'm doing is creating payrolls. I'm creating employees for jobs. That's what I'm doing with him, like all the people that work for us is just creating jobs and businesses. Mm-hmm. That you saw the text message. They'll move to Tampa in a heartbeat, and I'll do it as long as they're serious. I'll open up one down there. I don't care. I don't care about that money part of it. I just want to see it successful.
Yeah.
I want to see artistic additions. Fuck yeah, dude.
Be a household name at the end of the day.
That's what I'm going for. I just want everybody in the world to be like, yo, I've heard of artistic additions. Yeah. There's not a lot of shops around here in this world that you can literally say that everybody's been like, oh, I've heard of that one. Yeah. Why? Yeah. You know why? Because they're scared to go in there. Yeah. You can't be scared to go in somewhere that's nice and happy. Yeah. And when you walk in here and you feel the feeling and you feel the love, it's just what it is. I had to go through a lot of employees and a lot of stress, a lot of drama to get where I'm at today. It didn't happen overnight. Right. And he can attest to it. He's seen it. Yeah. It didn't start that way, and it damn sure took some years to get there, but we're here. We're here to where I've been trying to get to this whole time. Yeah. And now anybody I ever bring in, if they ain't got that positive energy and that wanting to grow, they ain't coming up in this bitch. There ain't no way nobody messing with us. Yeah. Nobody's messing with our energy we have here.
Yeah. So Dom, going back to you, is this the first tattoo shop that you worked at?
Well, I started here. I did my apprenticeship here under Larry.
Okay.
And I worked here for a year, maybe a little bit more, and then I moved up to a shop in Newport, Monster Tattoo. Yeah. And I was there for about 2 years, and then I came back down here last, I think it was March.
Last March, okay.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in the tattoo industry total, tattoo?
I've been tattooing for 4 years.
4 years, okay. Mm-hmm. So to somebody coming up fresh in the tattoo industry, right, and you're fairly new yourself, mm-hmm. What lessons have you learned, or what things do you feel like you could, help somebody else with some stuff that you kind of went through just coming up?
As far as advice and stuff like that, best thing I can say is draw. Yeah. Draw every day, and try different mediums. Paper and pencil, iPad, watercolor, airbrushing. Because all that's going to come into play when you're tattooing.
Yeah.
And it just helps you as being more well-rounded artist and have a better understanding of how things work and what doesn't work.
And find something that you just love. Find a passion mm-hmm. in your art. Yeah. Meaning, if there's something you truly 100% love to do, find it and do that. Yeah. And the reason why is because once you find it and you do it and you become really good at it, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to try to figure out what it is I can do now to stand all the way out. Mm-hmm. Because anybody can do a letter. Anybody
it takes a while to get to that point, though.
Yeah, but it could be something simple, because even that little wraparound you were doing, right? That could be your sale. That could be your little signature to your tattoo. Yeah. The little swirls around the L or whatever you were doing. It was a little tunnel look circle,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Stuff like that.
Little cool spring.
Yeah, it could be something so minimal, but it's something that becomes your signature. So that way, all over the world, people are Dom did that.
Yeah. Because I guess when you look at the big tattoo artists, I don't know the guy, but you're talking about the guy cartoon. When you think of him, obviously you think of a certain style.
Oh, you could tell cartoons work.
Yeah, their names attached to a specific style.
A style.
Usually.
And so when you come in, right, do you come in, and Larry, you can kind of talk about your journey, but when you come in, do you come in kind of like a broad like just overall art, and then you slowly start to develop your own kind of little style? Like is that how it is for tattooing? Like you don't know exactly what your signature is, but then you slowly find it and you keep tattooing.
Yes, but sometimes no. Sometimes you might be in between two styles that you really like.
Yeah.
You know, and you really don't know what you like until you start doing a lot of it, and then kind of researching and seeing the other artists that do it, and see what sticks out, and you know why you like that, and you kind of find your own way.
Do you feel like?
Go ahead. Do you feel like
you found yours, or you feel like you're still in search?
No, I love letter. I mean, I'm an artist, so I love all different forms. You know, I enjoy tattooing black and gray and color and stuff like that. But obviously, lettering is, you know, that's my favorite thing to do. You know, that's where I feel like I belong.
Right.
You know?
Larry, you've been in this
it's his comfort zone. It's just like it's the one place where he's going to grow the most because he's already comfortable in it, right? So why leave that area and dibble and dabble too much in tattooing wise? Now on paper and stuff, because that'll just grow you. But tattooing, if he keeps doing a letter and keeps doing a letter and keeps drawing that letter and keeps getting better, he's just going to get to the point where it gets so effortlessly, it takes him 20 minutes to make $300. You know what I mean? Like he could do a freaking whole half sleeve of a letter real quick, draw it all with a marker and tattoo it in like an hour or 2 hours. Where it might take you 3-4 hours if you do it and you're not as confident, or you're not confident in the lettering or how it's going to look. Because sometimes you just map it out with like a light color and then just get to going. And you might add a double line here, thicken one side, leave the other side thin. There's so many.
The more you do it, the more shortcuts you find.
Yeah.
I remember when I was first starting out doing lettering and drawing and stuff on paper. It used to take me like 4 or 5 days just to complete one final drawing. Where now it takes me like an hour, maybe 2 hours to do a final drawing. Depending on what it is. But
and it was like that.
Time.
He would erase. Dude, there used to be so much eraser shit everywhere. I was like, damn, he would erase it. But it was because he was trying to figure out where he was going. Like, because his lettering wasn't, when he first started, his lettering was like real West Coast kind of graffiti style, right? Where you couldn't really read it. But the way it is that is 100% a style, especially over there, just not here.
Yeah, there's some people that it works out for. I mean, there's a lot of lettering artists that I see that. I even myself as a lettering artist, I can't even read what the hell it is.
Yeah.
But it works for them for some reason, But then other people, it works better for when it's a little bit more legible.
Because you're not worried about somebody else's, what they're thinking about you. Your mindset is just growth. Your mindset's like, I'm going to make this into me. And that's what he's doing. He's like taking lettering and he's moving it around and finding it. He's still not there. You know how I know he's not there? Because he can't do it just effortlessly all the way yet. When he's there is when you can see him get on the iPad, just go like this and do, and in 5 minutes has to draw a letter, right? Because that's your style. Like you feel comfortable with that style, right? Like it's yours. Where I see a transition right now is I don't know where you're going. Like your lettering, I like the lettering now, but I can see it moving over more because it's changing all the time.
Yeah. So each time I do a piece, whether it's on paper or a tattoo, I try to make it different from the last.
Which is
there's a lot of lettering artists that I see that kind of stick around the same, and each piece pretty much looks the same, and I can just scroll through there and without even reading the name, I know exactly who it is. But for me, I try to make each piece different, even though there might be some times where it might look similar, but there might be an extra flourish here, might be extra hook here, the shading might be a little bit different. But
because you have to find it. You gotta find it. You gotta find that one little thing that just there's always something in art where to get known, I'm telling you, it's just that one little thing. And Josh was talking about it the other day. Remember he said, I'm just looking for that back. I need to find something. Because Josh is more of like I see it, I do it just like I see it, and that's it. He's not an artist where he can come out and he just draws it out of his head. So he's trying to find that thing, and that's a muscle memory thing. Like he's gonna find it's gonna be something. I would say it's gonna be something simple. And I got ideas. I would do like paint strokes or something behind it, something real simple, but to give your little mark on it. You know how like this one artist does, he comes with a paintbrush and just does like these marks on the arms and stuff.
Oh, like the paint strokes. Yeah.
It's kind of cool looking. I mean, I get it. Like it just doesn't have a meaning to me, so to me it doesn't do anything for me. But he's got a lot of following. He does a lot of tattoos with it, so people find that interesting. but art is what you make it, right? It's kind of like people always are like, I'm looking for something to find my niche, but it's what you make it, man. Like no matter how you did it, like my son wrote "I love you" on a concrete in our driveway, and he wrote the L backwards. I was like, put the L backwards. He's like, oh. I was like, it don't matter. I said, what it is, man. It still says the same shit. Yeah. I know what that says. You know what that
Usually
says.
when you find your niche, it's when you're not trying to do it.
Yep.
You know, and then it might be somebody next to you that might point it out, and you're like, oh shit, I never even noticed that. You know?
I have one when I'm signing cards and stuff that I didn't know. I always put an exclamation point, and I put a dot and like this and a little tongue.
Oh, yeah.
It's just something I've always done, and it just happens, and I don't even realize I'm doing it. And the other day I was looking at, like, I had to do it for my mom's birthday card. I was like, damn, I do this on everything. I didn't even realize I do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it is. He is right about that, though. You just have something you do that you don't even realize you do it.
One thing I do is I put a lot of diamonds, like, in my stuff.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like...
Even your lettering is starting to look diamondy. Like, the end flares. You can see that that's what you're like right now.
But Larry, you're like the perfect example because like now I think you would be known as like a color artist, but I don't think you came in the game like that. You came in as a black and white.
Well, because when I got in the industry, it was like you would walk in a tattoo shop and there would just be flash everywhere, like flash racks and just books everywhere, and you'd look through them and then you pick one. They were numbered. And you go into a filing cabinet, 131. You open up the little look for 131, pick it up. There's a stencil. That's how it was, and you just mimic the picture. So, but it was like real basic shadings, no real color pattern. There was no depth. It was like one red, two reds, maybe.
Yeah.
Like it was never any kind of saturation. It was just there. So, color really wasn't impressing me. And then social media started coming around, right? And then I'm looking at this guy over here in Oregon, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? This shit is dope. Like, fuck. I'm over here following everybody then, and then I'm starting to pick up styles from this one, that one, this one. I don't just follow one person. Even in everything I do, right? It's like I study. And he can attest for it. I don't need to even do it. I do it. I don't even realize I'm doing it. But if I say I like 8 people, right? I will study each one of them to figure out what I like about them the most, and I'll just worry about that to the point where they'll get boring to me. Like I won't even like them anymore because I'm like, shit. All right, you stop trying. I needed you to grow more so I could grow, but your ass won't stop growing. You won't keep growing. You want to stay right there. I've already pretty much mastered what you're doing here. I need you to move on, so now I got to find the next one.
Yeah. So anybody coming up, if they don't know what they like, their thing is, like, don't stress about it. Don't worry about it.
No, don't stress about it. Just do what you enjoy, and it'll come out.
I say that all the time too. I say just keep your mindset has to be this. Give up all of what you believe in right now, and just go hard. Just dedicate your time and energy into what it is you need to grow. Come into a tattoo shop, have portfolio, have a drive. Understand you're probably not going to be talked to the first couple times because most tattoo shops and owners are going to be like, nah, I don't want it. We don't even know the person. I don't know the energy. But trust and believe this. Remember one thing, if I can say anything about social media, is somebody's always watching you, right? And that person that you went and saw that tried to get a job from or try to do anything from, I'm that guy. I go stalk your social media for a while before I even accept you. Alicia, it was like 4 months. Yeah. Her energy on social media was just popping. Like she was just like high energy, but I was like, fuck, do I really want that in here, right? Because I don't know her. I don't know her yet. And it was the best move I ever made because now she's great. She handles
she's
shit.
awesome. She does a great job what she does. She's good at piercing. She's good with people. She has really good people skills. Especially with little kids, she makes them feel like comfortable and stuff when she pierces.
Why do you think I hired her as a manager now? She ain't even a piercer anymore. We had to get Shelby because I was like, nah, I need you to run the shop. You got to run it instead of somebody else. Like, just because she's good at it and the people person. God, her and Shelby both are people person. But Alicia has been grinding. She's been grinding.
Yeah,
she was an apprentice of mine too.
When we were over here, she was like, what'd she say? Oh, she was kind of, I guess, a little jealous of what Gracie was doing, and she kind of said that she wished that she had something that she was like, I'm good at a lot of things, but not great at one. And I'm just like well, you're great at managing a shop and you're great at Pearson, so that's 2 things right there.
You talking about Shelby or Gracie?
No,
Alicia. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And when I podcast her on Thursday, trust me, she'll know what she's good at because she does it effortlessly and doesn't understand it. But it's more just because she's a people person. But she does so much more. She pays bills. I mean, she runs this shop. She does everything for me. If it wasn't for her, the shop wouldn't be where it's at because she handles all the day-to-day stuff. I don't ever handle any. Like I told everybody, I don't handle money and I don't handle responsibilities. I organize. I handle the whole building and the whole business, and I delegate everything to somebody else to do to handle the situation. Because anybody growing, anybody busy as hell, you're not going to be able to do all of it.
Yeah.
That's why I pull all of my artists from the front. Like none of them really have to ever go up there because I don't want them to have to worry about something else.
Yeah.
Focus on that. Focus on this. Go ahead and do your artwork. We'll worry about the rest later.
Right.
Customer up here complaining, don't even worry about it. We'll handle it. Even if it's not your client complaining, don't worry about it. It's over. We'll talk about it later in the back. Like we'll all have our conversations. We all talk.
Yeah.
We all have our times. But I just miss it here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it feels weird being away and not coming here and being around everybody and doing the daily grind.
Yeah.
First couple of days it was weird. I felt like I was telling him, I felt like I was playing hooky. Like I felt like I was doing something wrong. I'm like, shit, I gotta stay busy.
Yeah.
That's the thing is I feel like I'm hoping people will start staying busy from just listening because that's one thing that happens. You go home and you're just like, you get depressed, you get sad, you get bored, you eat, you get bored, you drink, you do dumb stuff. Like, God, man, I put on weight. I know I did. And I'm grinding harder now than I ever have. Like, Dom, I'm working more now for marketing and just to help for the shop and
especially like writing your book and stuff. I seen you.
No, it ain't even about the book though. The book's the easy part. It's
really?
all this other stuff. Yeah, because like to get everybody's name out there, to get all the marketing done, the SEO stuff, the advertising, the business side of Facebook and all the stuff I didn't know about, like the marketing,
it's a lot of legwork.
Yeah, but I have the people now to do that because I didn't have that before.
Yeah.
But that's building employees, that's building payrolls. That's why we're doing what we're doing, to build the payrolls, to build the people, to build the business, to build the, to just keep moving forward. I'm not dumb. Almost choked on the gum. I think I've been doing business enough now, long enough to understand how to run a business and get it going and from the beginning. Where I have to have my help is now, because now I'm into these new industries, this new stuff that I don't know. But it's not like I even need the help because I have the employees to do the jobs. Like I have the people that can do it. So I'll learn it as we go and we'll navigate through all that. But I feel like this year is just I know this year is gonna be crazy for all of us. And I'm hoping that we can still get you guys out to some conventions.
Yeah, I definitely want to do some conventions.
God, I'm hoping. I don't know how that's gonna work yet. Cause I don't even know, man, Villain Arts, I feel bad for him, man, cause all them shows, people put up a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of
people that put out deposits for appointments.
Like for a tattoo, for us to go to a convention, it's not free.
Oh no, it's expensive.
It's like $1,600, right? And then I want because I got to get 2 booths. So you're looking at $1,100 2 booths. Then you got to look at the.
Yeah, you got to buy 2.
And I always get a corner lot, so that's extra money. And then I got to get a hotel, and I don't stay in cheap. I hate staying in cheap hotels. And I like to be as close as possible. When you're close as possible, they're even more money. So, and then we bring in a lot. Like I bring jewelry cases, like clothes racks. We bring everything. I bring people to work to sell the stuff. Like we set it up. But so by the time you get into it, you're a few grand in. So to do them, it's not cheap, but they're fun and they're growing. It's
getting your name out there,
getting our names out there. Where I don't
shaking hands with other people and
the owner of the FKR sat in our booth with us and talked to us one day. Like I've had that's how we got a lot of our rapport from the people that we've met. And he might not even remember coming in the booth sitting with me. But at the end of the day, that's where like all that stuff plays a factor. Is like you have to put up the money and you have to be willing to do the stuff to do what needs to take to get to the next step. growing in this industry now isn't like it was before. Before it was off of your work and word of mouth and a grind. Now you could take a picture, know how to market it, know how to put it in a film, get some new cute cool words to put on a picture, and now bam, there you go. All of a sudden you got 1,000 followers from just that one post.
Think about it like this too, like with the social media and the cameras. Let's say you went to a convention back in the day. Well, maybe you weren't. People weren't meeting you guys. They were meeting you for the first time, right? Whereas now, if they watch the YouTube channel, they haven't met you in person, but by the way that they see you on camera, now they see your artwork.
They've kind of already met you.
They feel like they've already. So you just break down that whole like phase of breaking the ice. It's already broken.
And that's 100% true, because on my second podcast, or the very first podcast we did, I got so many people saying, I don't know you, but I'm coming to get tattooed by you. So many. From UK, all, like everywhere.
Why
just because they like the content you put out.
But because they looked at YouTube and saw the video.
They already know your personality type.
Or they saw it on my Instagram, because I posted it on Instagram.
That's big.
And then this podcast, you can do that on your web, on your thing, where when you edit your profile, there's a website
a little link thing.
Yeah, copy the link off of YouTube, and you can put yours on there too, so they can watch yours.
Do that,
So that way they get to know you. They'll get to know you a little bit on that one when the podcast drops. Lord knows when, because we got so many podcasts. To be honest with you, I don't even know what number we're at.
11.
We stopped counting. We stopped counting numbers because I was like, man, I'm gonna get confused. And then two, one podcast we're talking, and it's behind another one because we kind of maneuver and stuff around to make it work, because it's scheduling. With the coronavirus, what we did was we took literally and made sure everybody quarantined for a month first, so we didn't do nothing for a month. And Gracie and I have quarantined since day one, so we don't go anywhere, right? Like, I don't go nowhere, and if I go somewhere, it's crazy. I'm wiping everything down real good. You go on my truck right now, I got hand wipes here, sanitized. I got sanitizer here, and then I got lotion because my hands are getting like pretty. You hear that?
Mine's getting dry too.
Sandpaper. So I'm trying to stay as clean as I can. That's because of my mom, man. I go to my mom's, and she's 67. She got breathing issues, and you know how bad I feel if she caught it. So it's one of them situations. So I know with the way this is going, and I know you've been sitting at home not doing shit. You went out and rode your dirt bike a couple times. I saw that.
Well, no, I've actually been staying pretty busy. The first couple of days, I kind of just hung around a little bit, but just riding my dirt bike.
Well, that's what I mean. You're not
working on my house and stuff like that, painting the porch, tearing down the old shed. I mean, I'm doing stuff every day.
But you're staying away.
But
staying in.
Yeah, I'm staying like on my property. I'm not going out.
But that's what it's about. That's the only reason I'm doing these podcasts, for people that want to, like, might think something. Like, to be honest with you, all of us, trust me, we are a family. We know each other enough to know when we know who's staying home, who's not. You could come. You're staying home. All right. You're not going out with a bunch of people. I don't want it if you're going out with a bunch of people and doing a bunch of things, because that scares me.
Yeah.
And it's not even because if I get sick, I'll be all right. But I got a 3-year-old that might not be, and I got my mom
at home.
Yep. So
this is a question for both of you guys. Whoever can start first. But what are you guys excited for, like, in 2020 and like from 2020? Like, what excites you guys in like the near future?
See, what excited me for 2020 was the growth, because I told them at the beginning of this year that I was going to do something that I've never done before, and that was market, direct, videos, pictures. I already got us all in magazines with our own articles, like supply store. I want to get them into at least, I think, 5 conventions this year or something. Wow. We already had 2. We had 2 lined up.
Yeah, Chicago.
And then Baltimore.
How long are these conventions? For people that
3,
don't know.
for 4
usually it's like 3 days. Usually.
Really? Wow.
Some are only like 2 days. It just depends on which one they are.
Yeah. What do you feel like you get out of the conventions now? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
what do I get out of conventions? I'm tattooing people in other places I wouldn't normally
meeting
reach
new
to
people.
them, and just meeting other people, shaking hands, looking at other people's work that I might not be able to see on Instagram because I don't follow them or whatever.
If you get to shake the hand of the person that you've been looking up to, sometimes they go there. Not all the time. Sometimes they're there. Or supplies are a big thing. Like, say we're at like the Baltimore and Philadelphia one. Like, I go to them, but I don't go to them to tattoo anymore, right? Because I guess, let me put it this way. The only reason I even get on these cameras isn't because I need to be the focal of anything, right? I don't need to be the face of shit. I'm all right. In my life, I'm doing good. So I'm doing this to grow everybody around me so that way we can keep on growing all together. Because what I realized was I'm growing, but everybody around me is not growing with me like I want them to. So let me go ahead and push it. And this year, before all this pandemic hit, that's what I was doing. We were in the middle of doing all that. Like, man, we were going to. I was about to snap this year, and we were so close to it. And that is it.
Yeah,
but we'll be right back to it. Right after this is over,
over,
though, I'll put it right back in order. Like, that's why all this is happening. This is why the podcast and this stuff is happening for you guys. Like, to keep you guys relevant and get you guys known, because y'all are some dope ass artists that need to be known in this world. Like, people need to know, because even if you don't respect if you don't think their art's where it should be yet, give them time. Cause shit, he's only 4 years in. His work dope. His line works clean as shit. His letter is dope, and he's not even done. He just started. Like, when people first get into this industry, they get tied in by the money. They get tied in by the popularity and the fame, right? But every one of my art, well, Mel kind of got into that a little bit with the drink, going out partying and stuff because she's young, yeah. But he's still driving. Gracie's still driving. Mel's still growing. She's still trying. She's still helping. She's still working. Yeah. She got fake skins at home. She's working right now practicing. You know, so like, it's not like none of us are stopped trying. None of us are stopped trying to grow. What happened with me was I paused tattooing so much to work on the growth of everybody else in the business, because I get excited watching somebody else grow, because no matter how you look at it, right? If I grow, they grow. Or if they grow, I grow. 100%. If he grows, I grow, because that means he's going to make more money. That means he's going to do better. That means now we can discuss more things. We can do more business stuff. Like, we can get into this in another way, because all of us are our own business. Subcontractor is what a tattoo artist is, right? So he's technically his own boss. He is an owner of Dom's Tattooing, Trademark Tattoos.
True Love Trademark.
Or True Love Trademark, right?
Yeah.
That's his trademark. That's his business. So at the end of the day, he is a business. So that's what I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to grow everybody's business.
Yeah.
And if that's moving everybody to different states to letting them do their thing, that's what we'll do. That's what we're in the middle of talking about right now.
Yeah.
Maybe Pete and Cynthia, they might be moving, and Gracie might be moving to Tampa. Who knows?
Yeah.
Hey, we'll hold it on our backs. We got this. We can handle that. I'll hire another artist as soon as we can find one we like. Because everybody got, like, I don't hire anybody until everybody just agrees on it. I don't do that. I don't want controversy in here. I damn sure don't want that ever again. I've had it plenty of times. Don't want it back. I'd like it in it. I don't want it.
Yeah, we're on a good note right now. Just gotta keep it going.
It's gonna stay this way. Yeah. It's not gonna change because I'm not gonna allow anybody.
Anything you want to touch on, Larry? We're hitting that 1 hour mark.
What's your 21 goal? Like what do you want when you hit 21? Yeah, when you hit 2021 this year, January 1st. What is it that you would want to already accomplish?
Yeah. And
what do you think you want to go to next?
Yeah.
So that way we can work on that.
Well, I'd love to have my clientele just getting my custom work.
Yeah.
We can work on just doing some conventions.
Okay. A new car.
Well, yeah, that's in the process right now. I'm waiting for them to finish the timing chain on the truck, and then I'll have that one sold, so I'll have a little bit more better transportation and gas mileage.
Yeah, because he drives 45 minutes a day to an hour.
Yeah, one way.
One way, and drives a big old Dodge Ram, 3/4 ton.
11 miles to the gallon.
God bless.
Wow.
My wife was doing that for years. That's why I paid off her truck. I had to. I was like, listen, here, go pay it off. Because she owed more than what it was worth. And she couldn't trade it in. And if she traded it in, would have been upside down. So it was a lot. Same thing with him. He's like, his gas got, what are you spending? $600 a month probably?
Well, I fill up every other day.
Yeah. Well, right now it's not that bad.
Yeah, right now it's not bad at all.
As soon as this pandemic stops, it will be. Yeah. The oil prices will go right back up. That's just how it's going to work. Yeah. They'll get you. They'll get their money. Don't worry about that. Rich stay rich. I guess that's all I really got. I mean, I don't have a lot for that one. So guys, you got anything you want to tell everybody? Go follow. What's your Instagram?
Give me True Love Trademark. You can follow me on Instagram. Facebook, I'm not so much on there as much, but definitely Instagram.
Just do Instagram. Scratch
yeah, you can follow, see all my tattoos, and I'll be posting a lot more paintings and stuff that I'm working on that'll be commissioned for sale. And right now I'm also taking on commissions too as well, like drawings and paintings and stuff like that.
And he has a couple. They're on our Instagram page, and I believe yours, right, for sale.
Yeah.
So if you go on Artistic Editions Instagram page, you'll see them. They're on there for sale. He doesn't want much for them. They're what, 8 by, or what are they, 11 by 12s?
The ones I have on now, I think are 9 by 12.
9 by 12.
And then there's a 12 by 12.
All right, so now you got his Instagram. You know some commissions. If you want to see some of his lettering work, go check his stuff out. Go give him a follow, show him some love.
Yeah, if you're looking to get any dope freehand lettering or just anything custom,
hit him up.
Shoot me a message, man. We'll get it set up and we'll get a dope piece going for you.
All right, guys. On that note, we'll leave you with Julian Delano. We'll see you on the next podcast. See you.
Stay safe.